If you're starting out with Sveltekit, you might be wondering, how do you even create data in this framework? You just send a post request? Well, you could, but you will be missing out a lot. Form actions are the recommended way to create data mutations in Sveltekit, and they are really worth learning. First of all, let's explore the scenario of this tutorial. First, a user will be logging in. We will be checking the credentials on the server side, and if they are correct, we will be redirecting the user to the logged in dashboard. We will be using a brand new application, and under root/login, we'll create +page.svelte. This means our page will render at localhost 5173/login, which is empty right now. Let's add a simple form. Notice we are using the regular HTML validation, like making a field required and specifying the type of the input. This is because the good old HTML validation works perfectly, and these integrate directly with the browser's accessibility features. Alright, we're done, we can log in. Oh well, I'm forgetting something. We need somewhere to send this data. For this purpose, we'll need to create a page action. These live under the +page.server.js. A page action is simply the code on the server side that will be responsible for catching the result of your form action. This is where you would save things in the database, or in our case, log in the user. You could have multiple form actions for different forms on the same page, but in our case, we'll stick to using only one and using it as the default one. Now let's make things a bit more interesting. The action is usually a serverless function, and within the request, you have access to the form data in order to validate the format of the data before doing anything with it. The action can also communicate back to the front end. You can communicate anything you feel like. For example, you can set cookies, you can return a failure with an error message, or you can even redirect the user if you want to move them to a different page after they submit the form. Now back to the front end, you will be able to catch these values by using the 𝐸𝐻 directive on the form. This is how the Sveltekit framework knows to catch the result of the form action. This is where you will be able to augment the forms with things like validation and custom error messages, displaying a loader while the backend is working on the submission, or catching the redirect and proceed to call the goTo function to navigate away. You can decide to keep the basic 𝐸𝐻, and Sveltekit will perform most of these things really well, but you can also decide to pass in a function to the directive, and you will have full control over the user experience. All things said, Sveltekit Form Actions are a powerful set of tools for performing data mutations. You should try to use them for all of your data creation needs inside the Sveltekit application. I hope this was a useful video, and see you in the next one.